It's the Jim Brickman Show.
It's the Jim Brickman Show, and I'm excited because we are talking with Paula Poundstone. Of course, you hear her on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, which is, I just love that show. I listen to it all the time when I'm not listening to our show. And you have a brand new book, which is just, it's so funny. It's called The Totally Unscientific Study of the Search for Human Happiness. Is this because of so many books that promise the secret to happiness?
No, I have to say, one of the great frustrations for me during writing this book, it took me about 7 years to write, which came as a surprise. And there was a variety of reasons for it taking 7 years to write, not the least of which is somewhere during the Get Organized chapter, I got writer's block. But also, some of my experiments, and each chapter is written as experiment, some of them took, only a day to perform the experiment, and other experiments took months. Each chapter is written as an experiment with the conditions and the hypothesis and the variables and hopefully the funniest field notes ever written. But the real question for me wasn't whether I would enjoy doing something. The real question was, what thing could I do that would provide a lasting, an umbrella, so to speak, for the inevitable rains of when I would return to my daily life. And so the analysis part of each experiment, of each chapter, is the story of raising a house full of kids and animals and being a stand-up comic for a living and just being stuck being me 24 hours a day.
This reminds me of I was trying to get healthy, and a bunch of my friends said, they kept saying to me, you got to do yoga. It will change your life. And so I did yoga, and it didn't change my life. And so I said, no, it made me realize, no, it changed your life. Like that was for so nothing good starts with, what you should do.
Yeah, I do think that there are some constants. And one of those constants is physical activity.
Yeah.
Physical activity is just plain good for you.
Yes.
What's really weird about human beings is that most of us know that already.
Yeah.
More with Paula Poundstone next on The Jim Brickman Show.
It's the Jim Brickman Show.
Paula Poundstone is my guest on The Jim Brickman Show, and she has a brand new book that is absolutely fantastic. You got to check this out. It's a book and an audiobook, The Totally Unscientific Study of the Search for Human Happiness. And you are hosting the kind of the Oscars of audiobooks, right? The Audie Awards coming up too, right?
The Audie Awards,
I love
which
it.
I honestly, until last year, I did it for them last year. I hosted and I had a delightful time. It was really fun, and I love audiobooks, so I was right where I needed to be. But I didn't even know such a thing existed until they asked me to host it. Well, now it's a can't miss for me. I think there's awards for everything, as it turns out.
What is it?
I recently received a coveted sucky for vacuuming.
What does an Audie Award look like?
I don't even remember. I was in an award ceremony the other night, not for the Audies. It was an architecture thing. It was the gala at the National Building Museum in Washington, D.C. And it's a lovely event, and I'm happy to host it. It was very, very fun. And they award people who are doing, great things in the area of architecture and building space and blah, blah, blah. Their award that they had somebody, design for them was so heavy that they couldn't hand it to the recipients. They had to sort of stand by it. I mean, they would eventually receive it, but they could not at that time.
And we're talking with Paula Poundstone. Check out her brand new audiobook and real book that's probably, I don't know, is that heavy?
No, it's not that heavy. It's, it's average size.
Okay. The Totally Unscientific Study of the Search for Human Happiness.
How out of shape are you that you're worried about the size of the book?
Well, no, because you said the
award. What do you mean it's heavy? No, I think you can lift it. Oh, you mean because of the award?
That's right. You got to make sure that
it is toteable.
Okay, so I could take it while I travel.
That's exactly right.
It's the Jim Brickman Show.